One of the most important questions people are asking now on internet is, how do I invest in mutual fund? But again, before I start any conversation, I would like to put a real disclaimer. Well, I am not a financial expert. I'm just someone like you looking at various strategies to invest my money, build wealth over time, and of course with a minimum kind of effort so that I continue what I'm doing and my money continues to work for me day and night to bring me good cash flow and create wealth over a period of time. So during that discovery, I discovered various options which I'm going to discuss with you today. First thing we need to understand is, whenever we are creating wealth, we need to build a portfolio. Balanced, unbalanced, I don't know what all these fancy words, but there should be a portfolio. That means your investment, whatever you want to save, should be spread across the assets class, be it gold, silver, mutual funds, stocks, property for that sake. A lot of Indians, we like to invest in property, real estate. So before I go any longer, you were looking for how to invest in mutual fund. Before we move ahead, one important thing. If you want to be a successful and a profitable Airbnb-preneur, book a one-on-one consultancy call with our team. Link is below in the description. Now, let's continue the video. So what actually is mutual fund? Mutual fund, as the name suggests, is mutual fund. Well, confused? Simply put, people come together, they put in mutually whatever sum of money they want to put in, be it one time or in terms of SIP, regular investment, which they commit. At the core of the mutual fund is the mutual fund company and the mutual fund advisor or manager, who on your behalf is managing all this money because you trust him as a person or the company as an organization. They have certain skills and knowledge to know how to invest money better than you. You pay a certain fee to them and they make your money work for you. That means they spread it across asset classes in shares, in stock market. And then they try to create a portfolio in the stock market, be it large cap, mid cap, small cap, micro cap, or so many, variations of investment. The idea is to make money consistently, day after day, month after month, year after year. And the main aim is to create better returns than the benchmark index for that mutual. In the bargain, they are making money because you are paying them a certain amount for managing the funds, and your funds are slowly growing with a decent return. Average, you can say from anywhere from 8% to 12, 14, 15, even more CAGR is achieved if the fund is managed properly, and a lot of funds are actually making that kind of returns on an annual basis. It teaches us something beautifully. That sometimes we as individuals are very good at making money, but are we good at managing our money? Because managing money is again a beautiful art, and I can take it, I can actually relate to it. I am a merchant navy captain, as you all know, and we start earning money quite early in life. So we become, just after 12th, we do a pre-C course and we join as cadets. And today, nowadays, we used to make about $200 per month as a trainee, as a cadet. But now cadets are easily making anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per month. That's 50,000 to about 1 lakh rupees of money per month. And what age are you? You are hardly 12 pass and you've done some courses or a 3-year graduation for that sake. Fresh, no idea about managing money, but making good money. Now what happens? The story of a lot of us goes like this. Even for that sake, my story, you get good amount of money early in life. You start thinking big about yourself and you don't know how to manage that money. The first thing you're looking at is buying a beautiful bike, the costly ones. You don't go for normal ones, you go for the costly ones, the brands, the Harleys, the Enfields and whatnot, if someone is looking at cars for that sake. Or you look for other things to splurge your money in, your friends. Because see, it's not wrong per se. We don't say that it's wrong, because when merchant navy guys, they come back from long duration of sea life, they come back to family, they come back to friends, they want to enjoy, make the most of that time, and money helps you do that. And a lot of money is spent like that, and they go back to sea. We go back to sea. We again bring the money, again enjoy. But over the period of time, we realize that already 3, 4 years have passed by, and I don't have any money left in the account. And actually, I made good money, but I didn't know how to manage it. So similarly, then we maturity strikes, and then we start thinking about investment. But we've lost a little bit of years of compounding growth. So there is where we need to understand early in life that if you actually start investing with discipline and consistency, you can actually make much more money with the power of compounding. And that is what mutual fund teaches us, SIP teaches us, that bhai din hai, raat hai, up hai, down hai, anything happening in the market, you remain consistent, disciplined, confident, day after day, stand by your commitments, and compounding will work wonders for you without any effort. All you need to make an effort is to remain consistent and disciplined. Then comes another story now. Actually, I'm today in a story mood. See, what happens is now the present cadets who come on board, I tell them that if you really want to, leave this job early, because a lot of people come, they want to make some money and they want to move out and start their own business or something else. They want to set up their own, entrepreneurship journey they want to take, or they want to join corporates X, Y, and Z. So basic thing I tell them, if you want to be disciplined, as soon as you start making money, buy a house on loan. You can easily get a loan from bank, start paying EMIs. So what happens is your money, whichever is coming, is already committed to the bank, and within 5, 6 years of your time at sea, you already have a property ready, which is paid also for you. Because in 5, 6 years, we can easily pay back. If you've taken let's say 200 square yards of plot or a 2 BHK apartment in a decent tier 2 city, just like Dehradun or Lucknow, Bangalore, any of those places, you can easily do it in 5 to 6 years. And your property is ready, and you don't even realize it. That asset is ready when your friends have actually started earning. You already have a property paid up, a car for yourself. So that is the beauty of investing early, understanding early, which we try to teach our cadets today. And similarly, we're trying to discuss this property as an asset class. Now imagine the same merchant navy guy who bought this property early in his cadetship life, started paying EMIs, and this EMIs is also being paid back by the same property. Rather than paying EMI and slowly paying the principal back to the bank, what if the EMI is paid by the property itself? Well, sounds interesting, right? But many of our friends are actually doing that. And I am helping a lot of merchant navy youngsters now monetize their properties this way. How? Simply by short-term rentals, homestay business, Airbnb business. Now, how does that work? This guy is actually out at sea. Don't worry. Systems are there. SOPs are there. How do you do that? Let's understand that step by step. So you have a property, beautiful locations, everything sorted. You need to furnish it. You need a good photography. You need a caretaker who needs to be trained. You need someone to assist you with the technicalities of Airbnb and other OTAs, listing the property, bringing in the guests, managing the reviews, all that done as part of the Homestay Academy services. Then you need to spend some time, create systems, and then you're out at sea or working in a corporate company or doing your own business. System works for you. The technical team, the co-host, they list your property, they do daily analysis and work on your property so that the property has a high VEB score. The co-hosting services helps you with the queries, which come in, so that the queries are converted into bookings. Now, as the bookings get sorted, the caretaker or your somebody from the family takes charge and manages the guest experiences. Good experience, everything sorted, good reviews, and slowly your property starts making money more than the EMI. Actually, it pays the EMI itself and even starts making a cash flow for you. And slowly over a period of time, it is also appreciating in value. Well, that is the beauty of short-term rental business, homestays business, or Airbnb business for you. Now let's compare this with a real-time example. We have a 2 BHK property owned by a merchant navy young officer who is out at sea. We created systems, we had the housekeeper, we listed their property, we did the whole A to Z, doing the interiors, photography, listing, and also training the staff and managing as co-host their Airbnb listing. Now, what is happening is the property today, as we speak, it's a 3 BHK apartment, is worth about 1.5 crores to be specific. But when it was bought, it was about 50 lakhs of money. So, what happened is if we put it on long term renters, it is earning close to 30,000 rupees per month. Now, making on Airbnb, this property more or less is having an average occupancy of about 15 to 18 nights per month. In season, it is more or less 90% booked, but in off season, it is 20%, 25, 30, 50. So at average, we can say 50% occupancy, 15 days. Every day, the revenue coming to this property for 1 day tariff is close to 7,500 rupees per day. 7,500 into 15 nights, that's close to 1,12,500 rupees. So that is the kind of revenue, average revenue this property is bringing in. Let's say 1 lakh revenue to be more specific. So from 30,000 to 1 lakh revenue. Of course, there are some operational costs. Let's put it as 25% of operational cost, 25,000 per month gone. Still 75,000 of clear money being saved. Rather than 30,000, now 75,000. Close to 2.5x. And imagine it's not actually 2.5, it's close to 3x, because even when you put property on long-term rentals, there is some maintenance cost, some taxation, X, Y, and Z. So let's put it as 2.5x without any effort, with proper systems, with proper guidance. Of course, there's a little bit of commission involved when you involve a co-host and these kind of services. That's why I've taken 25%. Let's take it 30, 40%. Even if you have an OPEX of 40%, which actually is very, very high, you still make 2x of long-term rentals. So that is the maths. And this maths is now being understood with a lot of smart investors just like you. And they're slowly shifting from long-term rentals to short-term rentals, Airbnb business. But now the exciting part. The exciting part is, just like you, a lot of people are thinking on these lines. And when a lot of people in India are thinking on those lines, it is actually a big number. That means the supply of these kind of properties are now actually increasing in the market. And when supply increases, what happens? Demand and supply ratio is tweaked. So more properties on offer than the demand actually is. And then the revenue per night actually goes down, because now the buyer, the people who wants to guest, who wants to use their property, is spoiled for choices. That means best value property is now being appreciated and booked. And how do you be the best? Simply put, you have to be visible, you have to be engaging, you have to have good services and amenities, and you have to be decently priced. And the fifth point, you have to have good reviews, man. Good reviews, good batches like guest favorite, super roast, and whatnot. And that is what is creating your USP. And how do you do that? Consistently working on upgradation, consistently working on maintaining the property, consistently working on the data and analytics, understanding the AI. The idea is to be on page one of Airbnb at all times. That means you need skills, you need knowledge, you need hard work. And hard work, when done alone, is a lot of work. And when done in a planned manner as a team, it is actually beautiful, it is actually scalable. There is where the Homestay Academy comes in for you. If you are wishing to start your Airbnbpreneur journey, our team is right there for you from A to Z. We can help you in identifying a property, doing a market survey, building the property in terms of interiors, in terms of consulting you on one-on-one video calls, and also listing your property on Airbnb, doing the photography and maintaining the property listing asset on Airbnb, on online, and of course managing the data and analytics so that your VEB score remains high at all times on Airbnb, your property generates good revenue month after month, year after year, like we are doing for more than 100 hosts across India now. If you're somebody looking to invest in mutual funds, looking to expand your portfolio, you should look at short-term rental business or Airbnb business, because this sector is something which is very exciting. Good things are bound to happen here in India. Airbnb data clearly shows that by 2027, India is going to be one of the biggest markets for Airbnb. And yes, good news for women entrepreneurs like you. Women Airbnb-preneurs make up for 35% of the successful Airbnb properties in India. That is what the data shows. So yes, if you are a woman and looking to start your Airbnb-preneur journey, this is the right time for you. You need any help? The Homestay Academy is right there for you. And how? We are providing one-on-one video call free of cost with our experts. Sounds exciting? Well, the link is right below. Click on the link, book a one-on-one free consultancy call with our experts now. And yes, if you really want to know more about this business, do like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.